Hello Internet, hello Cupcakers. Our video today is how to bake a delicious chocolate muffins with semi-sweet chocolate chips. So we will start by measuring our dry ingredients. First, I am going to measure the flour. In this recipe, I need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay, so we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I will add a teaspoon of baking soda, and half teaspoon of salt. I'm going to sift this. And scrape this one. These are salt because I'm using a sea salt actually. Okay. And then here, another dry ingredient. We have the chocolate powder. But I am not going to mix this together with the flour mixture yet. That will be a different a method later. And oh, by the way, I have to measure the sugar. In this recipe, I need 1 1/4 cups of sugar. I can use the same cup. The same measuring cup here. Okay, so I have 1. I'm just going to separate this one. 1 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Okay, so if you see that I am not mixing together the flour, the sugar, and this cocoa powder together, is that because there is a reason why they are not yet going to be mixed together with. Okay, now let's work on the wet ingredients. We need 2 eggs, and then 220 grams of sour cream, we put this all together here, dump all here, and we're going to add our vegetable oil. We need only a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of our vanilla essence. I can use the same teaspoon so that there will be less things later on to wash. Okay, so these are our wet ingredients, and we're going to mix this together. Okay, let's mix this all together until combined. Okay, look at the consistency. So this is the way how we prepare this one. Okay. So now we have here our dry and wet ingredients. Muffins actually is very easy to prepare. All you need is to combine together your wet ingredients and your dry ingredients. But that is the traditional way of making it, and you can use the kind of method, the dry and wet method, with almost all kinds of muffin flavor. But since today I am going to prepare a chocolate muffin with semi-chocolate chips, so I have to modify this this method of preparing muffins. Instead of combining this unsweetened cocoa powder into the flour, I am going to bloom this chocolate powder. Blooming chocolate powder means that you are going to add a hot liquid into this chocolate powder. It may be a hot water or a hot milk or a hot melted fat into this chocolate powder in order to bring out that rich chocolatey flavor of this chocolate powder. So it doesn't take much time actually in blooming this one, and I am going to use that method in preparing these chocolate muffins. So in this chocolate powder, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of. Okay, so I have here a boiled milk. This is hot. I'm going to pour it into our chocolate powder. This is the process where we are blooming our chocolate powder. Just mix together until combined, and after that we are going to include this together with our wet ingredients. Okay, mix until all this powder or the lumps are dissolved. This chocolate muffin is really going to be yummy. I can smell the chocolate. It's really rich. And you know, every time I bake a chocolate muffins, I'm always adding 2 eggs in this recipe to put together all the crumbs, because if you're going to add only 1 egg, it's not going to hold all the crumbs together. But putting 2 eggs also in this recipe makes the cake dry. So in order to balance the flavor and the dryness, and to keep the muffins moist, I put also the sour cream aside from the milk in order to keep that moisture in the muffins and not to make our muffins dry. So now it's really rich. The smell is really rich, chocolatey. Okay, so just dissolve all this chocolate powder When your hot liquid is not really boiling or not hot, it will be really very difficult for you to dissolve the chocolate here. But our milk is hot, so it didn't really took time for me to mix all this together. Okay, now this sugar, if you're going to look at this, the physical property is here, dry, right? But when it comes to baking, sugar is under the category of wet ingredients. Why is that so? Because sugar dissolves during the baking process. And in order for the sugar to be distributed evenly in the cake batter, it is better for us to combine this sugar in our wet ingredients so that it will dissolve easily once we bake it. So the sugar will be evenly distributed in your cake. So now we're going to add the sugar here in our wet ingredients. So remember, in baking, sugar is always part of the wet ingredients, or categorized under our wet ingredients. Now it is already mixed, and it's time for us to add our bloomed chocolate powder. Here it's already bloomed with liquid, where we used the hot milk. So this is now our wet ingredients. See? Okay, so before I'm going to add these wet ingredients into the dry ingredients, I will first add a cup of these semi-chocolate chips. This I am going to add into the dry ingredients, okay? Then I'm going to just mix it all together here, and after that I'm going to make a well in the center here and pour the liquid ingredients. In this recipe, you don't need, when you're preparing the muffins, you don't need the electric mixer in the process. Or you can do this one with your fork and your spoon at home, actually. So this one, I'm going to mix this all together here. But we shouldn't overmix this one, otherwise it's going to become tough and chewy. Cake has to be, a soft and moist consistency, and not tough and chewy like bread. So even though we're not using a creaming method, what I mean is the hand mixer for the creaming method, this is only a dry and wet method. But we can make sure that our muffins is soft and moist. See here, you can still notice the flour not mixed yet evenly with our cake batter, and this is okay. Okay, this is now the right consistency when we are mixing. If you see here some few flours that are not mixed properly, it's okay. It will be combined together during baking, because if you are going to overmix this one, as I said, you will get a tough muffins, and there will be plenty of holes and tunnels in your muffins after that. So this consistency now is all right. It's not so watery. Then after this one, we're going to line our muffin tray. This recipe makes like 14 to 15 cupcakes. So I'll see this one if I'm gonna be needing additional muffin tray later. And my rule every time I prepare cupcakes and muffins, whenever I transfer the cake batter in the cupcake pan, I'm always using an ice cream scoop so that I can have an even measure of this cake batter in every cupcake liners now. Okay, so this is now our 12 pieces cupcakes about to be baked, and here I still have some more. Maybe this is around 6 more cupcakes here. So I filled now all these 12 cupcake liners. Then I will top it with more semi-chocolate chips to have a rich chocolate flavor. Maybe I can pop like 5 pieces each, because I already have added 1 cup in this mixture. So this recipe you need like 1 and 1/3 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, so that you will use a 1/3 cup of it for the toppings. And then into the oven. I already preheated the oven to 170 degrees centigrade, and I am going to put this there for 22 minutes. So here's our muffins. I baked this for 25 minutes at 170 degrees centigrade. Let's cool this, and then let's check the consistency later and taste it. So this is now the muffins, and it has cooled down, and now we're going to check the consistency of this one and taste it. See the moisture, see it's very moist. Let's see the crumbs. Wow, look at this. Now let's taste this one. The chocolate is very rich in flavor. The sweetness is not so overwhelming, and it is moist and soft. Okay, so now we finished our tutorial video on how to make a chocolate muffins with semi-sweet chocolate chips. And I thank you for staying with me for the whole video, and I hope to see you again in my next videos. Okay, cupcakers, bake it till you make it. See you next time. Bye!